In this video, I'm going to show you how I disassembled a skeleton to make this fun and spooky planter and a sidekick to go along with it. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. So we got to start off by dismembering our body, our friend here today. For the most part, he looks like he's just screwed together, and there's a couple nuts and bolts down in the groin area that are holding on the legs. Take them apart, keep the rib cage, the sternum, and all of that. Look at me, I'm gonna end up having to remember my body parts from anatomy. Let's do it. All right, I'm not gonna lie, that felt a little morbid, kind of disassembling this guy, especially when I would pull the arms out of the sockets. That was kind of eerie, but we got the main gist. There's some little sharp edges that I'm gonna take some sandpaper to and just make sure it's nice and clean on all the edges. And then let's give it a coat of paint and we'll move to the next steps. Simple and pain-free project. At least for us, not for you. Sorry, buddy. Okay, let's give you a coat of paint. I just so happen to have a perfect size Amazon box to put them in. Now, let's give it a coat of black paint. Let it dry, and then we'll flip it over, give that other side a coat. Then we'll turn it into a planter. So while that dries, let's work on the skull. I was thinking about doing a little planter inside one of the eye sockets, or both eye sockets, and then I realized that this guy lights up. So I kind of want to maybe keep that. I don't really know, especially when I paint it. I don't know if it's going to still show up. But I was thinking cutting a hole out of the top of the head, and we'll do a planter in here. I'm going to use this tape as my template. I'm thinking, all right, something like that. Okay, here goes nothing. Well, you are seeming to be trickier than I had expected, so I'm gonna do some relief cuts and see what's holding this guy up. So if I'd avoided that screw, one screw was holding that on. I'd say you had a screw loose, but apparently not. So it's all painted black. Got my planter pot. I really want it to sit like right about there. I'm gonna do the soil level right about there. I'm thinking in order to get him stable, I'm gonna need to do like a stake. So I guess I'll drill a hole, see if we can maneuver this as far up as we can. Might have to cut this down straight as possible. Well. That's as far as it's gonna go. All right, well, let's see how this fits. I'm gonna need to paint this black. Oh, way too high. Okay, so we gotta cut down. That should work. Okay, we're good. So let's just paint this black. All right, now for the fun part. So I got my stake painted. I only painted pretty much to where you're gonna see it. I'll fill it with soil, put our guy in, and add some plants. Let's add our guy. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now the fun part. Plants. So it still needs something. I pulled out one strand from one of my other plants. And I think just that little extra in there will do it. It's looking really good. I think we need to add just a little more spice to it by adding some white rocks to the bottom, which will make all of that kind of stand out a little bit more. So let's add some rocks and then it's done. I mean, that was a simple and easy project and I'm really excited about how it looks. Let's add the rocks to finish it off. So I didn't forget about this guy. Originally, I was gonna put him in the bottom of the planter and then a plant coming out of the top, but then I soon realized I didn't have enough room. But I have this faux air plant that I thought looked great. We'll just give him a little bop. Look at that, he's styling. And we'll just put him on the ground next to the planter. And I could always do a little spooky eye action. Anyways, so there's that guy. We'll just put him next to the planter. All right, keep it together, buddy. You're looking good. Okay, let's give it a nice spritz, clean it up, and there it is. There it is, the final product. It looks great, and I'm stoked how this guy down below turned out. I'm pumped that I got to use some of my favorite plants, and I think they all really complement this planter really well. It was simple, easy, just a couple parts and some paint, and voila! I hope you enjoyed today's video, friends. Until next time.